Northcentral Connected. It is May. It's been a little while since we've done one of these, but we are back. And we've been doing a lot of traveling in this room. That's why it's been 6 weeks, I guess. So I would like to say that I'm your media specialist, Justin Jaggers. I'm hosting this podcast. And, of course, we are joined by our CEO and General Manager, Kevin Doddridge.
Hello, everyone.
Who you may or may not have seen on Usher's Snapchat.
Actually, it was Carly Cross's Snapchat.
Oh, who's dating Usher?
She dates Ivanka Trump's brother-in-law,
The Kushner.
the Kushner guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Usher just happened to be there with us.
Oh.
Along with
Here's
Alex
how-
Rodriguez.
So, we're also
Somewhere
joined-
on a podcast today, they're saying that they were on a Instagram of a famous co-op manager.
Okay, there you go. And our safety director, J.D. Cox.
Great to be back.
And our director of economic development and marketing, Michael Bellapani.
Hey.
And so May is a very important month, and I'm just going to kick it straight off to you, Kevin.
Yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, May is known as National Electric Safety Month, and I'm sure JD is going to want to talk about that a little bit more in depth. But I just want to reiterate that even though we have an emphasis and recognize safety in the month of May, every month is safety month around here, and we try to make sure we focus on that, and that's just a part of it being our culture now. We had a series of storms. It's kind of amazing, late winter, early spring, how we transitioned from ice to tornadoes to wind to thunderstorms. It seemed like we were fighting storms every Wednesday. But I was asked by a regional manager at TVA what North Central did special during these storms safety-wise. And I said, it's kind of like, what do you do different in the Super Bowl than you do during the regular season or the World Series? You still stick to the basics, the fundamentals. If you've turned it into a culture, then it's instilled. You don't have to do anything dramatically different. And you make sure that you don't get into a hurry, even though it's a storm situation. So, as I said, we had storms. We do have a new outage management program that I hope that the membership's able to go to the app and see here, if not now, before long. I think Michael's got some more information on that, where you can see outage maps. And maybe sometimes when you're having a difficult time getting through to dispatch, you can take a look at that map and see that we know that you're out or that you are not out and help you with your reporting. Another great byproduct of these storms has been a lot of debris. So right now, we are cutting right away. We're focusing on the Barton area, but we had a lot of trees that were damaged during the ice storms, and then damage transitions into tree limbs that are still in the tree. Winds come through, knock them down, trees get damaged again. We're cutting a lot of limbs to get them off the lines, and there's a lot of limbs that used to be in trees that are now on the ground, and we're aware of that. A lot of it's because of the fiber, clearing out the lines to put fiber on them. A lot of it's from the storms. We know we have a lot of debris on the ground. We know that we are moving deeply into grass mowing season, and people don't like to mow around it. I don't blame you. So we're going to try to focus on getting some of that debris up, because we realize the pain that it can be trying to work around it, and that you want it up and it doesn't look nice. So we're going to try to work a little bit harder on that. As I talk about fiber, as always, North Central Connect, we are bearing in on 2,000 customers. It's not been a fast process, but it's been a good process. We're very confident in what we're doing, got a good product out there. And I'm sure Michael wants to reiterate, if you're interested, sign up. That's the best thing that we can do. We need to know who wants it, and that's what's going to kind of help us with what our next design phase is going to be. A lot of discussion on supply chain, inflation, and believe you me, we are seeing that at North Central. Right now, as I've said before, we are managing it. We don't have any areas of great concern. For our larger industry, we are able to serve you. We've got the transformers and the equipment to do it. We don't have a lot of spare, but we got what we need, and we're trying to make sure that we keep the other coming in. Pricing is very difficult. I think I told you that on heavy equipment, and bucket trucks, digger derricks, etc. In some cases, we're looking 3 years out. So a lot of challenges there. I mean, pricing is a huge challenge. we really are taking a first look at what our rate's going to look like next year, and we really hope to keep an overall rate increase somewhere under 1.5%, which I think you could probably acknowledge that in these inflationary times is not that much. But as everything is starting to increase in price, we don't want your electricity bill to increase dramatically. It's going to have to increase maybe some, but not at the rate of everything else, hopefully. Take a pause. One last thing to hit on is the City of Olive Branch has had a great interest in LED street lighting. And we've got thousands of fixtures in Olive Branch. Some are LED, some of the old high pressure sodium. No more of the mercury lights. I hope every now and then, I think I see one out of the corner of my eye, but I'm sure that doesn't exist, but maybe a few out there. But we were asked if we could assist the city in making sure that we get all these changed out in a fairly quick fashion. So we're hoping to do that. That's an area where we're not seeing supply chain issues. But we see advantages in the LED lights. The basic disappearance of maintenance, they a lot more. You can count on them a lot more to live a lot longer. They use quite a bit less energy. They are quite bright, but the lighting is kind of focused more. So we're thinking those who have concern about clear skies, we're hoping that overall we might see an improvement when we get all these lights put up. And I don't know, the coverage area of these lights may actually dictate that we have to use fewer of them to get the same coverage area. So a lot of things going on. You mentioned a lot of travel, and I have been in D.C. talking to our elected officials and basically just reiterating a lot of the same things that we do reiterate. If there's mandates coming down and tax incentives to fund mandates, we're tax exempt, so we need direct pay. We can't really take a tax break being a not-for-profit. And also remembering that as we talk about transitioning into this new green economy, which I don't think in the purest sense is going to really come forward, but there are supply chain issues associated with that. We look up and we're needing core steel for transformers. Well, when Shanghai went down, the core steel really started getting stressed. A lot of these metals are being used to produce batteries for electric vehicles. The concern about the increased manufacture of electric vehicles is causing people or car manufacturers to decrease manufacturing of combustion engines. As they do that, there's concern that's going to flow over into the other energy market, refining oil into gasoline, and maybe plans to expand that will be curtailed. So as a friend of mine says, for every gimme, there's a gotcha. We're going to keep our eye on it. We welcome more electric cars. We realize they're not for everyone, but we think in some cases, especially in an urban area, they make a lot of sense. So we look forward to the challenges of serving that increased load and the challenges that come along with it, with supply chain and everything with it. But we're on top of it every day, and hopefully the things that concern us will not have to concern you.
Okay. That was a lot.
Did I wrap that up pretty good? I can breathe now.
Oh yeah, and another drink. Label out. All right, JD, what you got for us?
I appreciate Kevin teed up National Electric Safety Month, and we have a great culture of safety here, but month does provide us a moment in time where we can really focus in and offer up a lot of materials to talk about safety at home, at work, storm safety, things of that nature. So I know, Justin, you do a good job of putting that stuff out on all the social media formats that we have. So, everyone can go there and look for information, links and things of that nature to get to some very good sites. But one of the things that we focus on during National Electric Safety Month, of course, is home safety. And it's really, talking about blocking and tackling the basics. When we talk about home safety, we really get to, extension cords. People run extension cords all over the place. We just ask that, number one, they're the right type of extension cord, and make sure that they're rated for what you are using them for. Also, you don't want to overload the electrical circuits in your house. And a lot of people think, when that breaker starts tripping, you just need to go get a bigger breaker. Well, the breaker is tied to the size of wire that it's supplying. So you definitely don't want to increase the size of the breaker. You may want to just limit what you're plugging in that electrical circuit.
Something made it trip.
Something made it trip. It's doing its job, whether it's an overload condition or whether there's something physically wrong with the circuit. When that breaker trips on a regular basis, you need to get someone to look at it. There's a reason. Electrical fires in the United States, there's about 50,000 a year on an annual basis, and most of those come about because people ignore that breaker is tripped for the 5th or 6th time that week. So really check those things out. Just don't let them go by. Just don't ignore them. The other thing is storm safety that we like to focus on. Always assume in a storm situation, if you see a line down, that the line is on. And you know, all of the information that they put out there, all of the materials that you're going to see is going to ask you to stay at least 35 feet away from any line that is down, any electrical equipment, any poles, anything of that nature, just to make sure that everybody's okay. A lot of times, a line can be laying on the ground. It's not necessarily going to be making a noise. It's not going to give you any indication as to whether it is on or off. Just stay away from it. Call us. Let our folks come out, take a look at it, make it safe, things of that nature. Generator safety. If your power does go out and you choose or you have the availability of a generator at your house, make sure that it is outside when it's running. You don't want to put those things in your garage. We hear of the hurricanes coming through a lot down on the coast, and inevitably there'll always be 3 or 4 reports of where people who are worried about their generators missing put them in their garages while they're running, and then they succumb to the generators exhaustion.
If memory serves me correct, that last storm, or one of the storms last summer that hit in South Louisiana, every fatality associated with that storm, I think, was tied back to unsafe use of a generator.
It was, and it was virtually some of the first fatalities that they started seeing down there was the result of that generator use. Also, here's a big one, and that's surge protection. In your house, you really need to think about that surge protection. Our lines and equipment that we build, our engineering staff, they design surge protection into the system on the larger scale. But when it gets down to your house, you need to make sure that you've got surge protection, especially on all your electronics, computers. Air conditions now are incredibly sensitive now to surges and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that equipment is protected as well. And when we talk about electrical safety, we just like to remind everyone that we have a great electric demonstration trailer here at North Central. We're very blessed to be able to have that, and we're more than willing, and we love to take it out into the community at all the schools and career tech centers and things like that, and really give everyone an up close view of what an electric distribution system looks like. And we can talk about the different parts of an electric system and what you should do when certain things happen, and if you hear this, what does that mean? So if you're a school out there or community college, certainly anything like that, and you would like for us to come out with a demonstration trailer, Justin's going to give you our contact information, a way to get in touch with us, and we will be glad to come out and do a public demonstration and really get into the nuts and bolts of some of what we do. One of the things that we did last week is we had an apprentice lineman training school that North Central hosted. This is a statewide school, and we had 46 students from all over the state come in for a week, and we really focused on underground utilities, which more and more, that's what's being installed, especially in our service territory, is underground facilities. And we have 4 of those schools a year. 2 of those will be hosted at North Central. Our statewide apprenticeship program certainly speaks to workforce development in our state. And of course, with North Central, that is something that is very near and dear to us, is workforce development. And we support that, whether it's at the statewide level or whether it's from our local community college. But we had 46 students come up. We really had a great time. We had 7 different learning stations set up, 7 different opportunities to cover different aspects of what that work is and how you install it properly. That's the biggest thing, is really educating our workforce how things are to be properly installed and properly maintained, and that is all reinforced in that school. Speaking of community colleges, a couple weeks ago, Northwest Community College had another 12 students to graduate the line worker program. And that's always a fun time on graduation day. They get to come out and really showcase what they have learned. And you know, it's amazing to see them on that showcase day. That's basically what we call it, kind of a showcase day. And you know, their parents and grandparents and you know, spouses and girlfriends and all that stuff, they're able to come out and really see what the guys have done for the past 16 weeks. It's a great day. Northwest does a great job of promoting it. Mr. Johnny does a great job instructing and getting those young folks prepared for what they're going to be asked to do when they first get to the utility. So we are very proud of our partnership with Northwest in the line worker program. And there'll be an open enrollment for next semester's program very soon. And if you have any questions, you can get in touch with Miss Katie Broadway over at Northwest, and she can get you lined out on what you need to do in order to be able to get into the school. And with that, just like to say, very excited about our outage management system. I think it's really going to enhance, you know, our members to be able to see, you know, where the outages are at. Make sure that the area that maybe they have an outage, it has been reported, and they can see that in some kind of polygon. You know, to make sure that we know about it. So I think that's going to be a huge asset. It's going to be a great thing for us to manage that storm, to be able to see where most of the calls are coming in, and you know, where we really need to focus most of our resources at, and being able to respond to that quickly. So just really excited about that product. I think it's going to be a big deal for us. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, well, just real quick, some contact information. If you are interested in the safety demonstration trailer, you can call us at 662-895-2151, and we'll get you some more information on that. If you're interested in the utility line worker program at Northwest Mississippi Community College, that is northwestms.edu. So, my attempt at a transition here is we're going from safety to communications. We have to brag because we're very proud of our safety program around here. And one of the things we did back in September was introduce a safety app that the employees have access to the latest safety information and videos and everything else. Well, the National Rural Electrification Cooperatives of America took notice and awarded us with the Most Innovative Use of Digital Communication Spotlight Award.
And then had me at a board meeting when it was presented, and I couldn't even be there with you.
The other thing is they forgot to bring that award to Seattle, where I was.
No way.
No, yeah, it happens. They just, you know,
But also involved in that was, you know, the week prior, as I'd been hanging out with the supermodel and Usher.
Yeah.
Who did you run around with?
I was in Salt Lake City on the way home, and I ran into Tracy Morgan. For those of you that are
who immediately recognized you, and
yeah, he knew me. We fist bumped. No, if you don't know who he is, he was on Saturday Night Live. He's done some voice acting work and 30 Rock and everything else. Well, I told Michael the story yesterday, and I have to share it with you guys. So I ran into him, he sat down, and I approached him and said, "Hey, can I get a picture?" He was totally fine with that. I went back to my seat, and about 5 minutes later, I hear him say, "I'm ready to walk." Okay, well, all right, fine. Well, one of his entourage had this big JBL speaker with him, and 90s R&B starts playing, and he gets ready to walk down to his next gate or wherever he was heading, but he kind of boogied, pimp walked his way down there with the music.
So he had walkout music.
He had his own walkout music. It's like, that's how you know you're a celebrity. So that the budget year's coming up soon, so I might have to ask for that in the communications budget. So speaking of communications, Michael Bellapani, my boss and the Director of Marketing and Economic Development.
Well, thanks, and congratulations on
Thank
the
you.
award. It's really nice to be recognized by your peers for projects that you put a lot of work and effort into, and part of our cooperative business model is a cooperation among co-ops, and we're happy to share that information and share our knowledge and what we've learned from that experience with others. And that's why you were at this meeting, was to discuss the app and how it was developed to help other co-ops step up in areas where they may want to improve. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So also congratulations to our scholarship winners. As you may know, each year North Central awards some scholarships to deserving graduating seniors in our service area. These students must live on our co-op lines, and they submit an application each year for that. So this year we had two homeschool winners, Miss Mackenzie Holloman and Abigail Ricker. From Byhalia High School, DeAndre Crutcher, and Center Hill High School, Blake Holmes. Jalen Taylor, Miss Jalen Taylor from Lewisburg High School was a winner, as well as Caroline Walton from North Point Christian. And we had two winners from Olive Branch High School, but one of them represented DeSoto Career Tech East, and that's William Cole Massey. And then Miss Tia Towns was an award winner, and those are $1,500 scholarships that will go towards their freshman year at community college, trade school, or university. So congratulations, and y'all will be on the lookout in their next Today in Mississippi for a profile on each of those.
I've been sent the headshot, so I've got to design the little half page.
Good deal. Good deal. And kind of pick back up on the OMS discussion. Now that stands for Outage Management System. We use a lot of acronyms in our business, and
Not as many as TVA, but we're getting close.
I want to see the cheat sheet sometimes.
Well, engineering loves them.
That's
They just
Try
absolutely love them.
podcast is just abbreviations and acronyms.
or
It'll
maybe
be over in 3 minutes.
or a contest to where we'll see if people are picking up on this. But really, we're listening to our membership, and I know it's frustrating when you get in an outage situation you don't know. We try and provide information on outage updates as often as possible, but you want to know if we recognize your outage and we have it recorded. And I know we've had some phone bottlenecks and over the years, so this system is really going to address some of those issues and provide us with some alternative ways to get your outages reported, whether that's through text or through our app or the website, so an automated one where you don't have to make a phone call. And also it will provide that outage map so you'll be able to see it. So we're listening. It just takes a bit of time for us to implement that technology, and we're thankful that we're almost to the finish line on that.
We've kind of come full circle on that. Years ago, the big concern was that the membership was uncertain if we knew they were out. Now, due to technology and this OMS system, odds are we know you're out. But now that's not good enough. The member wants to know that we know they're out, potentially know when restoration may take place. So it used to be a feature to where the member was communicating with us. Now it's them providing them membership, so they'll be a little bit more informed.
Yeah, exactly. So we're excited and just strive for continuous improvement in that. And so we'll communicate that as it comes along. What everybody wants to know about is fiber and when they're going to get fiber service. We are currently building in phases in Ingram's Mill, in Byhalia South and Byhalia North. We're all over Byhalia Town proper. And what we're seeing now is that the pace of those sign-ups is starting to slow, and we really want to kind of dig in and understand why. So if you have not already, we are connecting services in and around Byhalia, and also in the Ingram's Mill area. So please visit northcentralconnect.com and show us your interest.
Should we not be entering some new area later this summer, though, Michael?
I'm glad you said that. For those of you
Master of transition right there.
That's it. The master of the segue. For those of you in the Miller area, the Miller phase, which is what we call, in effect, from our office down south past the hospital, along Bethel Road, and then moving west down to Woolsey,
Dunn Lane.
Dunn Lane, parts of Lewisburg and those areas. We're going to be opening this phase, and I'm going to go on and say it, late summer. Folks in the Miller area, Miller Farm subdivision area, you could be seeing services available as early as mid to late July.
I hear cheering in the background.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and something important about that to know, though, is when we start lighting up the Miller area, that is showing a dedication of completing that phase to Dunn Lane. But so if you're in those other areas, don't be concerned or overly concerned that Miller's getting something that you on Woolsey, Bethel, these other communities aren't getting. That phase has been designed, and we're going to build that phase out. So when you start hearing about lighted fiber in the Miller area, no, it will be coming your way, and you really need to go ahead and sign up.
Construction is a process. We open up a cabinet in Miller, and then we'll set another cabinet somewhere down the line, and we build to it, and then we kind of build sequentially until we get to these areas. Now, folks in rural Marshall County, you're saying, well, what about me? We've been screaming for service. Guess what? Late June, Edwards Road, up north to Battle Road. Then we'll start moving south to St. Paul and French Road. And these are some of the folks who really don't have any service. So we're excited about that. So I tell you that to say we're working projects on top of projects. We brought on how many new contractors? 3, I think.
Yes, and just 3 in the last month. Yes.
So it's important. I'm not going to say that you get in line to sign up because we don't do it that way, but please make sure you sign up. We know that you are interested in service. If there are any obstacles for you signing up for service, whether it be a contract with another provider, we're new to this. We're not familiar with the projects of the providers that are, or the contracts of the providers that are out there.
Because we're not asking for a contract.
Because we're not. It's free installation. We don't require a contract. It's worthy of a conversation. So if there's an obstacle for you signing up, call us. We want to discuss that.
662-932-3500.
Yeah, that's the Connect telephone number, and you can talk to Lauren or Jabrice or Chuck or email us at info@northcentralelectric.com. I don't know. Do we have a Connect email set up?
I believe we have info@northcentralconnect.com.
Let
me double check.
But really, if you think you have an existing contract and we're opening up construction, somewhat close to your area, now's a great time to see what the terms of that contract are.
That's right.
And your contract may be getting ready to expire by the time we arrive, or you may check and see if you have some type of automatic renewal that you were not aware of.
Okay, so you can go to northcentralconnect.com/questions and send us a direct email. So we want to hear from you if you have questions. And there was actually something I wanted to address because it was on social media. There was a few comments wondering if they have to sign a piece of paper. That's not a contract.
That's a service agreement. That is not a contract.
Yeah.
The only thing you'd be liable for is if you didn't return the equipment, and you'll just be responsible for the month that you have that service, and that's it. It's simple as that, folks. We are your local internet provider, high-speed internet fiber provider, and it's all served by the folks you know here at North Central. So please go ahead and sign up for service. You'll be looking out for community events throughout our service area throughout the summer. You may see me grilling hot dogs out in rural Marshall
and
County.
me taking pictures of it, and JD running the demonstration trailer while you're cooking the hot dogs and I'm taking the pictures.
And I'm eating them.
I was gonna guess you were on a golf course, but if
Nah, I don't play golf on Saturdays.
Oh.
No.
But there's a lot. There's just so much good going on right now, and we're trying to roll the fiber product out. That's why we got a lot of tree trimming going on right now. We're trying to get that done in preparation for all of the other ready-made work that has to be done. We've had so many storms. It just seems like every Wednesday or Thursday there for a while a different storm was blowing in. And between the two, we know we've got some ruts out there in some yards. We know we've got some tree debris on the ground and everything. Be patient with us. It's growing pains, and we certainly understand that we need to take care of those things, but it's going to be worth it. We've got a great product. We're a great local provider. So get those contracts out. Look at what they are. and make sure that we know that you're interested, because we're coming and we're getting to you just as quickly as we possibly can.
Absolutely. Well, one last thing before we end. Everyone that is a member of North Central Electric Cooperative gets a subscription to Today in Mississippi magazine that we offer every month through Statewide, and you'll see articles from myself or Michael and messages from Kevin every month. We want to know what you think about this magazine and what we can do to improve it. Some people got emails this week asking for survey links, so we ask that you open that up. It comes from customer service at northcentralelectric.com. You can also see the link on our social media pages, and we would like to know what we can do to improve this magazine, what you like, what you don't like. And if you have story suggestions, contact us. You can contact me, Justin Jaggers, jjaggers at northcentralelectric.com. You can send me an email on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube. See, when I started, there was
MySpace.
no. What? Is that coming back? Is Tom making a comeback there? So, no. So when I started 5 years ago at North Central, we had a North Central Electric Facebook and Twitter feed, and we have now increased that to 13 social media channels representing this podcast and North Central Connect and North Central Electric.
But how many acronyms we got floating around?
Yes. Yeah. So soon enough, we'll be just, TT is TikTok, FB is Facebook. Yeah, we'll just go by that. But, yeah. So you can hit us. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and YouTube. So find us, send us emails. If you want to be featured on the podcast, or if you have a feature idea, please let me know. We're always looking to improve. So get involved with your cooperative. That's what we're here for, and we want to hear from you. So with all that being said, we are done. We will be back next month. Y'all have a good one.
See you then.